It's that time once again, the final moments before lights out and the charge down to turn 1. Who will come out on top at Paul Ricard today? Well, we'll find out soon as we get the French Grand Prix underway. 6 lefts and 9 rights give us a total of 15 corners here at the circuit Paul Ricard, and a lap covers an overall distance of 3.6 miles. Average speeds will be somewhere in the region of 142 miles per hour, and they'll be maxing out on the Mistral Straight at around 205 miles per hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Formula 4 Racing. I'm your host, See Me Skate. Well, with me, as always, this season is my man, Mr. Fury Strat. How are you there, bud?
Yeah, good, mate, good. Excited for what is tape 2 of the French Grand Prix. The issues of the update coming out last week on Monday night, I should say, did not help, but we're back, we're racing, and, you know, Let's get around it. It's round 1.
Exactly right. Let's get around it, Fury. And of course, if you did tune in on Monday, my voice was a bit ordinary. I've started to come good, Fury, which means look out, lads. We are on the ball. We've got, oh my God, Girk Onimo. Holy moly, a blast from the past. Good to see you, Girk. He's just joined there, Fury. He's just followed, actually. And so has... well, I don't even know how to say that. Glaxock. I don't know how to say. I think I got that right. Welcome. And let me just put a message in the server there, Fury. I'll leave it with you for a sec, mate.
Yeah, mate, not a problem. So here we are, Le Castellet, France, this weekend for the first round of our attempt 3 seasons on the new F1 2022 game. Nearly reinvented itself after the patch, some updates to the handling model as well as the torque coming out of corners. A couple of patches. Kevin Magnussen's eyes was a big note for a lot of people. Really wanted to make sure eye colour when they looked deeply into Kevin's eyes was the right ones, but he seems to have the right eye colour now. But a lot of changes which may shake up things from what we saw on Monday, obviously. We may even get a dry qualifying.
Yeah, well, quite possibly there, mate. I mean, there has been obviously a new patch and, well, it has thrown some of the guys for 6, of course, there, Fury. But, look, I mean, some of the complaints are regarding the traction and the tyres overheating and so on and so forth. And, well, you just got to revert. I mean, if you're new to the game, it's understandable. It's understandably frustrating, and I can all agree with that. But if you're not new to the game, you've just got to revert back to those old original tricks there, Fury, on how to set the car up regarding the tyre scenario of temperatures and all that sort of stuff. Of course, suspension comes into it. Your pressures come into it quite a fair bit. It has almost gone polar opposites regarding the tyre pressures there, Fury. As we wait for these boys to load in, of course, as, well, I mean, there is another lad, Darkness Abyss. He's just said hello. How are you, Darkness? Good to see you, mate. It has been quite a while there, man, but, well, good to have you there in the Twitch land, my friend. But, yeah, we're about to get this one underway, of course, and, well, looking forward to this, Fury, of course. We're doing it a little bit different here at Formula 4, folks. We have got a 13, well, or technically a 15-round season, and, well, 13 official, 2 sprint races involved in that one as well. We're going to do 3 seasons on this game, Fury, as you're well aware, and, well, that means 3 trophies, 3 by 4 pot winners, and looking forward to this one. We've got a couple of reserves in the lobby at the moment. We do appreciate it. One of Cool Boy, the other one of Pink. He's almost a reserve regular, being Mr. Sandeezy. And there he is there. And, well, let's just see how these boys fare. Broken Reptile will be joining during Q1. He's on his way back from work. He's sort of stuck in traffic a little bit. He has let me know. And, well, we'll get him in the lobby ASAP. I've got some action here, Fury. Got some action in the garage. It looks like a Puma. And it could be Beansy, mate.
If it's not, it wouldn't surprise me. But it's actually not. It's actually one of his teammates, Boston. It is a Puma, though. You did get the car color correct on the dot, which is pretty impressive, given we've had all of full of one qualifying session.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
look
well,
at
that's
these
it, mate.
cars.
That's
So
it, mate. That's exactly right. So, I mean,
it's a good start.
well, it doesn't take much. I mean, you know yourself being in the com box there, Fury. It doesn't take much to sort of come back to the fold. And I think I've got to adjust these game audios. Give me 1 second, Fury. I'll leave it with you, mate.
No, you're right, mate. So Boston coming out obviously in the Puma colour, or Puma car, I should say. That very nice kind of Alpine metallic blue with the green and pink running through it. We've also got JPS, which is the black dots on the screen. They're a black and gold livery, a bit of a nod to the old school Lotuses for those old school F1 fans. Your white dots on the map will be your Samsungs. They are blue and white. They swapped over some of those guys racing last season for a unnamed oil company that we'll leave unnamed for now. The red and white cars, Marlboro, another old school brand, making its way back on to the grid, returning once again to show what it can do. And then obviously green, red and white, Passion Racing, those guys now the livery. It kind of looks like Rick Kelly's Nissan Altima from Bears, it does, for those who have seen it before. And then we've also got the light blue and white livery for the reserves. Then a little bit of black on there as well. A little bit of fun, a little bit of colour matching all over the place. But Bofton will be the first man to start the lap as he comes through turn 1 of Varese, then through turn 2. Very easy to lose the rear end now. With the traction changes, comes down through towards the end of sector 1 here. Hotel through turn 4, as Doctor saying is the thing's not glitch. Comes through Camo at turn 5 to Sebom, then into Mistral. Very easy to lose the rear end. We saw a lot of guys lose it there last game very comfortably. Throws on the DRS, running all the way down the Mistral straight, a bit like what you see the 24-hour cars. So at Le Mans,
Yes.
on the big long straight that I've forgotten the name of. Comes through 8 and 9 at Montreal. Through the end of Sector 2 now, you're going to see majestic magenta sectors the whole way through. Boston using all of the road there, including the little blue abrasive part of the track to slow down as it comes through Labose now. Just drags on for absolute ages as you come up to Bendor. Late Apex is the way to go there, and that was a bit of a hop, and the car just went, no, I'm not taking this corner.
It certainly was a bit of a hop in the car there, Fury, as I do believe it might be your guy, JC. I'm not too sure who's ahead of him there, Fury. I'm going to miss it. It might be Tystar on his outlap, but here comes your guy, JC. I'm just going to call him JC because it does become a mouthful at times. So he's just about to complete his lap for his first run here in this Q1 session, of course. And we've got Xerxes in the chat. Well, I mean, the graphics god, well, you can't pull a fast one on him. Bofton got the colours a little bit wrong, the paint finish, as JC sets a 32.222. Milligains goes quicker by quite some margin with a 30.9. Who is next? There is Cool Boy, the man in the reserve livery, the fetching reserve livery, thanks to Aylin. Crosses the line, sets a 32.4. Not too shabby at all there, Fury.
Yeah, they lads just kind of getting the siders in. Obviously, you'll probably see a little bit of dispersion across the grid, a little bit of mixed skill grid, as we call it, with 4 bots racing all at the same time, which is always makes it very, very interesting. But the racing has been quite good of late. Definitely finished very solid, as Tab has knocked right onto the door of Milligains and said, how are you going, as both of them proceed to go very slowly out of turn 2.
He certainly has. Well, Kyotonic is in the chat, the Torpedo. It's funny his name starts with K, so does Daniel Kvyat, and known as the Torpedo for all obvious reasons, and that's not really funny there, Kyo. Nice attempt of being funny, but not really funny, mate. But you can do better than that, my friend. And we're just trying to pick up who is next. It might be Scotty, I do believe there, Mr. Fury, as well, Scotty has impressed since coming on board. There is a Marlboro car in front of him, but I do believe that is Milligains, unless he's going again. No, he's not. He's going in the pit lane. So, yeah, we'll stay with Scotty here, mate. And that is Team Puma, of course. And that is what that one looks like. And we have seen it a couple of times already this stream. But looking forward to seeing how that one looks, of course, under lights. There are a few fetching liveries, and the boys have done a fantastic job with what little they had to play with. But Scotty goes whack with a 132.139. P4 for now, Fury.
Just give me 2 seconds, mate.
You're all right, mate. No dramas. I'll pick this up. Tactical. Well, he's another one. There's another pot 1 driver who did very, very well during qualifying, of course. We had to abandon the race on Monday, of course. That patch update through the lobby for 6 as Tactical sets a 131.439. And not too bad at all. Sandeezy out there on an out lap, getting his eye in. He's about to get himself underway as well. Ty-Star has invalidated that run. That is unfortunate. Numbnuts going in the pit lane, so this time is not relevant from him. Macedonian going back to the pit lane, I would imagine as well. That is the Marlboro car, folks. That is what it looks like, and that is it. It looks pretty good, and can't wait to see that one under lights as well, of course. Different tracks play different light tricks with these liveries, and well, the boys, like I said, have done a stellar job. And Macedonian, well, that's a red track map, which means he's made a mistake late on in that previous lap, and well, that's going to cost him there, Fury. He's going to have to go again. Chasey Dane has invalidated. He's probably getting himself ready for another push lap, I dare say, mate. Currently with a 133.2, the pot 4 current champion is Mr. Chasey Dane. Blue Dog is missing. He is the current pot 3 champion. The pot 2 champion, who now is a pot 1 driver, is Mr. 25. And of course, the pot 1 champ and the overall champ from last season is Rip the Beans. And he'd be looking to, well, emulate what he did last season. A stellar season from Beansy. And, well, this being very, very short seasons, of course. Going to bang a few out on this game, of course. And, well, it's going to punish a mistake. So looking forward to seeing these boys know this. They're all skilled in what they do, and looking forward to seeing how they all get along. Dino out there at the moment in the Castrol Racing livery. That is it, folks. That's what that one looks like. And I don't mind this one at all, Fury. I think it's fantastic, and I reckon that one under lights is going to turn some heads. But looking forward to seeing it as the season progresses. Nothing to get too excited about. Plenty of time left in this one, of course. Q1, 9.5 minutes remaining. And, well, the aim of the game is all about survival. Haven't had really much time to get some track stats this week. Been trying to get myself right for this one. And, well, there you go. And no other bloody glitches back, isn't it? So I'm going to do my best not to go on board for you people at home. But Dino sets a 132.1, and that is P7 for now.
Man has jumped back off the leaderboard, but you're absolutely right. The Castrol livery is looking quite nice. I think under lights, that metallic kind of finish it's got on it could make it pop even more, and it'll fit right in December because it's a Christmassy color as well.
It certainly will.
That's what they meant to do, but it'll work.
I mean, I don't think this season, to be honest with you, mate, is going to go to December. Just got a message from Broken Reptile. He won't make it to set a lap. He'll have to start from the back, but he doesn't mind that. No problem at all, Broken. And there you go. Chasey Dane about to get himself underway. I do apologise, Fury, for cutting you off there. Sets a 35.0, and, well, that is well slower than what he's done previously. Maybe just getting his eye in, mate.
Mate, that's probably exactly right. A lot of these guys, you know, some of them do normally race elsewhere on a Thursday night. Some guys don't. We obviously don't normally race on a Thursday night. It's kind of lucky timing that we can get majority of the full-time guys in their seats on Thursday to rerun the race that we missed out on doing on Monday, which would be a regular occurrence. But a lot of these guys probably, you know, maybe didn't have the schedule set up exactly right that they would have for this race. So maybe using this session just to get their eyes in. Maybe they haven't cut a lot of laps. I know personally I've cut maybe 30 laps on the game since the update came out on Monday, and that's pretty rookie numbers for a competitive league member. So,
well, I mean, Fury, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you're in the box with me this season, so not so super critical for us here, mate. But I mean, we do know you race elsewhere. And well, the Newport Tony,
let's go, come on!
There he is there. And the lad has just thrown in 100 bits. Thank you very much, Droftas. And, well, he's another lad that's sort of taken a step back this season. He's managing from afar, which he tends to like. And, well, there he is there, just checking up on things. And, yeah, I don't know. Someone keeps... It's been turned right up. And, well, there you go. Yeah, well, it's not happening this week. And I'm not going to go into personal reasons why I dropped us, but you know exactly why. And keep that one to yourself, my friend. But yes, Bopton out there on an outlap. And, well, he's about to get himself underway. This time is ticking down, and it's ticking down quick, Fury. 6.5 minutes remaining, and Bopton's just getting started.
Yeah, exactly right. So Brad Tay, he's actually going to be the furthest along at the moment. He's
Thank you, sir.
0.6 of a second up on his best lap time, and that actually puts him kind of well up nearing that top 5 kind of area. So we can find that little bit of extra time. Could even jump his teammate at 2.5 and drop himself right up into the mixing board without B2 on the grid tonight. Only 32.5, so didn't quite maximise that final sector. Macedonian, he's definitely not improving. Numbnuts, though, looks like him and Tystar might be working together. The Tystar's actually in Bella behind, so he's really running out of time. And, you know, when the pressure comes on, it can either burst pipes or create diamonds. And we'll see what it does with Tystar.
Especially under that hot seat of his there, Fury. And, well, it's all about the pressure. And, well, Numbnuts navigating not too bad at all. We haven't really got a reference because that 1:45.3 is mega slow. He's a lot quicker than that. He's about to say, oi, he's got it all wrong. The game's allowed him to continue. That is bizarre, but it sets at 132.4 and throws himself up in a P8.
I'd like to know what that DRS board did to him. He absolutely brutalised it. It was just kind of sitting there. But
mate, it looked like it done something to a family member, the way he treated that.
He just absolutely abused it. You just seen it on the side of the track and gone, no, just murdered it. But yeah, that's what we've heard a lot of in the chats, haven't we, of late? That it's the traction that is the big thing people have adjusted to. That some of the no traction guys who run it all the time have said it's easier now. You can just kind of pin the throttle. Some of the guys who Tystar's actually
he's out.
Session, mate.
He's out.
Johnny and 4 coming up, and Johnny and 4 run at the same
spot. There is he's just has he just touched the wall? There is Tystar. You can see Tystar and Johnny M4 getting it wrong. Exactly the same spot. And, well, there you go. Sandeezy out on track, purpling the first sector, though, Fury. And, oh, he's got it wrong, too. The same spot. The same spot. Someone put oil on the track there, lads, because there's 3 in a row have just gone round. And Sandeezy not happy with that at all. He's going to have to do that again and have another stab at it. Suicide 5 out there on track. And, well, he's up on his previous best. Currently did a 133.3 tactical. Look at the top 4. All comfy in the garage. Retiring in the garage. And we'll see you boys in Q2. Junior has just joined in the Twitch chat. Hello. How are you there, my friend? And good to see you. Haven't had any updates on your pitches yet, mate. Well, he's just got himself a rig there, Fury. The lad has recently jumped onto a wheel, and, well, he's joining us, the wheel users. And let's just see how he gets on as the season progresses, of course. But yes, here comes Johnny M4. He's going to need to go again. We did see him spin. He's got the fuel on board to do it. 3.5 minutes remaining, Fury. And, well, there you go. He's Junior busy. He was busy last night. He didn't get a chance to set it up. So, well, we look forward to seeing those glorious pitches a little bit later on. Sandeezy's going to have to go again. He's just taken that wider line to put the power down on the straight. And there you go, folks. He's getting himself underway. So we're going to stick towards the bottom end because that is the end where the, well, the danger is there, Fury. Of course, we're going to lose P15 through to P20. Yes, Broken Reptile will be joining. He will be joining a little bit late before the race start, of course. But he's just been held up at work. But he will be here, rest assured, folks. But here comes Johnny M4 now. He's navigated that treacherous part lap prior, of course, coming on to that back straight. And, well, now he's into that, well, the twisty, that sector that really does hurt the tyres here, Fury. Sector 3, those long apex, the late apexes, the long corners that just pump the heat into it, don't they? The left-hand side of the car around this part of the... Oh, and he's around again! Johnny M4's gone again, and, well, there you go. There you go, and, well, he's running out of time, Fury. He's running out of time. We're coming to the pointy end of Q1, and, well, here comes Sandeezy. Sandeezy purpling the second sector this time round. And, well, he's just got to navigate the next few corners. Of course, well, boys coming a cropper, knowing with this new update, and just the handling is a little bit different. And, well, there you go.
Oh.
So
Johnny M4 looks like he's driving Sebastian Vettel's 2017 Mercedes. 2019, I should say, Ferrari, where there was just Spinala.
Spinala. Yes.
Everywhere. But Sandizi, though, he's kept in a straight line. Let's see the first lap from him. Only good enough for P4, so not quite the pace we would normally see from the DZ. I'm sure he's probably thrown a couple of extra sandbags on the way the car down to hide that true form of pace. Johnny M4, though, he's still on this same set of tyres, mate. He's done 2 laps on it already.
And he's around again.
He's gone around again.
He's struggling at the moment, is Johnny M4. Not too sure what is going on out there. And, well, there's a couple of boys out there on outlap. So I speak of Chasey Dane, Suicide 5 and Crazy Kiwi. Macedonian getting himself underway yet again. This will be it. Of course, Macedonian will make it. Suicide 5 and Chasey Dane, where are they? They're about to enter. Well, Suicide 5 entering Sector 3 now. They will make it, of course. And Crazy Kiwi, how far along is he? He's about to start a lap. So might sit with Macedonian here, mate. This drop zone is very interesting. We've got a few guys right on the cusp here, Fury. And, well, as we do touch on, mate, the name of the game is all about survival. And, well, these boys know this. Macedonian, 2 seasons ago, came second in the championship. He struggled a little bit last season as the game went on. And he's looking to make amends. But at the moment, he's down there in 16th there, Fury. And, well, he's currently 2/10 up on his previous best at the end of the first sector. He's about to approach the end of the second sector.
He'll be looking to improve that time and
3.5
tenths up by sector 2. So he's founding a little bit of time, but it's really not enough. Like, he's got 6/10 up to Suicide 5 in front of him, who is clear. And he's also come out, and I'm assuming that would be fresh tyres on Suicide 5 stamps. And Broken Reptile has just joined the session, so unfortunately a couple minutes too late. Johnny M4, though, his session is done. Those tyres and all the spins not helping him. So we're going to lose Broken Reptile. Johnny M4 Tyster guaranteed at the moment. Kiwi, he's got 1 lap to move himself out of the qualifying. Macedonian, though, the man
I don't
that
think
we're
he's going to do
focusing
it.
on.
He got a massive tank slapper there, Fury. I don't think he's going to. No, he lost a bucket load of time. That's it. Done. Crazy Kiwi, he's the only one that really can affect the running order. He's about to complete his lap now, which means Suicide 5 needs to still keep sending it. And that is a shocking glitch. They got to fix that rubbish. But there you go, Crazy Kiwi. Oh, he's done it. He's 32.6. We've got to watch Suicide 5. He's invalidated.
Invalid.
Oh, no. Suicide 5 is out. Chasey Dane survives. And there you go, Kiwi knocking Suicide 5 out. And, well, he will start P16. And, dearie me, I have no rear end, as Johnny M4 say. And, well, Johnny, it looked tough out there for you, my friend. As Chasey Dane's is about to take the checkered flag. Does go quicker with a 32.66. Does improve, well, his time doesn't improve the position. But, yes, he is safe.
Barely off Kiwi, though. He's 15 1/100th of a second behind Crazy Kiwi in front of him, who sat 1 lap right at the end of the session. But, yeah, Johnny M4's rear end just kept running away from him. Didn't want to stay attached to the car for some polite odd reason. Wanted to overtake the front end and do a lot of the driving. So, unfortunately, his car troubles.
Xerxes makes a great point, and it probably was tyre temps. Now, Johnny M4, I know he's been busy. I know he hasn't got much time to practice and stuff like that. But I tell you what, Johnny, you've got to adjust them. Of course, after this update, if you're running full pressures, I highly suggest come race start in the grid box, you adjust them and drop them right down, my friend, because you run high pressures, you run the risk of doing that all the time, and no good. But there you go, Q1 done. Season 4 well and truly underway. Of course, take 2, but Season 4, Q1 take 2, done and dusted. Millie Gaines takes the honours at the moment. P1 with a 130.957. The young fella in Tabbed, who I know he's hungry. He's hungry. Wants the title that Beans took last season. But there you go, just 36 thousandths of a second away from Millie Gaines. And Rip the Beans not too far off as well. We'll flick down to the bottom and we will be losing Mr. Suicide 5, Macedonian, Johnny M4, Ty Star, and Broken Reptile has joined us.
Yeah, so those guys taking no further part. Broken Reptile, obviously, the traffic's not helping him at all tonight. On his way back from work, but
well,
giving him a little laugh the first challenge.
He's had real life traffic on the roads, and he's going to have virtual traffic on the grid, of course. And Q2 Fury, this is I call it funny bugger session, where you know it best, mate. Where the boys tend to go out, set the first 2 sectors alight, and then just slow up for that 3rd sector, and then don't give us really much of a break towards the end of the session. We get to see what they're all about in this session, and that's the glorious part about the Q2. There is no hiding here, mate.
Well, that's exactly right. Yes, I think he used to play a little bit more like that. Probably not as much nowadays.
I would hope not.
The lack of carrying tyres through.
Yes.
You can't exactly. You're not allowed to. You don't have to start on the tyres you qualify on if you're in the top 10 anymore, which makes it rather nice. So
yes.
You might see a couple of guys maybe go out early, just pump out laps, and maybe try and conserve their tyres a little bit more. We don't really know what the track is doing during qualifying. I have heard some rumours circulating around the paddock, possibly from an old race engineer by the name of Jeff, that there is some rain coming for the race, though.
Oof. I haven't had any weather reports from the boys out there in the Twitch land. I'll tell you what, Fury, we did have that torrential qualifying session on Monday that we did abort, folks, for that update, of course, and we will touch on again. But that was horrendous conditions. And of course, there has been an update since then, therefore the cars are a little bit different. And if we get anything like that condition that we had on Monday, Fury, I think we're nice and safe in this dry commentary box, mate.
Absolutely, and I'd like to, I'm quite glad I'm up in this commentary box just looking at the parking lot coming down the Mistral Straight at the moment.
VIP parking too, mate.
Like, your guy JC is just coming out of the pit lane, just driving out, doing his own thing. Everybody else, except I think it's Dino at the front and then the Puma of Boston at the back, is all split. Like, you throw a blanket over 3/4 of the field.
Yeah, look at that.
In a qualifying session. Make some space.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. They probably will start to create some space. I don't know, maybe these lads think they're the real thing. They're going to start to slow up towards the end of this outlap and just space themselves out quite nicely. Dino is already underway. I was about to say already underway. He's just about to get himself underway. And I do apologise, folks. That is a broadcast. There we go. Thank God for that. And yeah, that rev glitch is absolutely shock and fury. I hope they fix that relatively soon, my friend.
They'll get around to it a bit like they get around to fix other things in the game. We didn't even know this massive patch was coming out Monday. As Dino, first car on the track and first invalidation of the session. So a couple of firsts right off the bat for him. Sandeezy, he'll be the next car, so he'll goes out a little bit early this time around. Obviously didn't quite have the car where he wanted it, only managed 4th fastest, but still within 5 tenths. It was quite good to see the top 5 guys all within 5 tenths of a second though through a qualifying session. It's always nice to see a competitive areas on the grid, but that Alan has done. I've seen the last 3 reserve liveries, and I'll be honest, I think this one is probably the best that he's done. It's very, very nice.
It is quite fetching, isn't it? And, well, we've got to say a big thank you to Zerks. Just subscribed 10 months in a row. Thank you very much, Zerks. Much appreciated, my friend. And, well, Zerk's doing his thing in the background, of course. I'm not too sure. I don't want to throw him under the bus. But I do know he is working frantically in the background, trying to get the intro video, the new, improved, up-and-coming intro video. Well, I'm not going to give dates. I don't know dates, but I know it's not too far away, folks. So keep your eyes peeled out for that one. But yes, Sandeezy, of course, out there on track. Look at the gaggle of cars behind him. Holy moly, Fury. They are bloody close. And, these boys are all putting faith in each other. But here comes Deezy. What's he got? He sets a 31.5. And I'm going to miss a few laps here, mate. I am going to miss a few laps.
Millie's a 30.7. Dean's 31.3. All right, here we go. Wrap it off. Scotty 31.9. Tab 31.0. And then we got a little bit of a break. That's going to be Casey Danes, the next Marlboro car. So he done 33.1 for him. The Puma of, I do believe that was Crazy Kiwi. He's done a 32.1 to drop in there. There is a JPS of Tactical Genius. He goes to third on a 31.1. Then it was, I do believe that was Brad Tay, who did a 32.8. Cool Boy, he set a time of 32.2 to drop himself up there. IRL Numbnuts, he did not set a lap time there, so he was invalidated. Boston did a 33.0. And the last car to come across the line was your guy, JC. He did a 31.9. And that is your qualifying crew part of the session.
Holy moly. I think the rain's coming. Look at the sky, Fury. That's why they're all out on track. Maybe, quite possibly. She's getting dark there, mate. Absolutely getting dark. And, the boys have laid down the gauntlet. Milligain's improving on his Q1 time of a 30.9. Does a 30.7. Tactical out there as well. Not too sure if these boys are going to go again or just chill out in the garage, and throw on another set when it comes time. Yeah, Tactical slower. They are all slower. A few boys have been validated as well. So I dare say that is what's going to happen. Brad Tay getting out of the way of that JPS, and that JPS is Numbnuts. And, he is yet to set a time. He's currently on a timed run at the moment. He has got a gap in front of him. Not by much there, Fury, but he has got a gap. He's slotted in quite nicely, has Numbnuts, and, he's just got to set a banker at the moment, mate.
Yeah, he just needs to get the time on the board. Obviously, the man who actually qualified on pole on Monday night before the game decided to end all further proceedings with the Grand Prix, but he's coming through the couple of corners here, sets himself up on the main straight, runs all the way over the curb. Don't really want to use the blue exits the little abrasive strips on the side anymore as he jumps himself into the top 10. So they'll actually slow your car down like they're supposed to, unlike last game where they you just kind of drive over it and it didn't mean anything. They will actually take pace off your car without you realizing it, just due to the fact that it's essentially a bit like sandpaper is what it was referred to.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Very abrasive paint, and of course, I don't know the grit numbers on it. I haven't done my research in that fact, but obviously the blue is the less abrasive, supposed to mimic a sand trap. Bring the walls in closer, throw a bit of grass there, and she's good, mate. None of these are supposed to mimic. It's an asphalt car.
Rainbow Road. Rainbow Road. Paint them all different colours and make it rainbow the whole way through. That'll make it a little bit more interesting. Instead of just this blue, and then right up beside the wall, there's this random bit of red.
Of course, the red is the most abrasive. And, you do see in real life, of course, when the boys in real life spin and, they tend to flat spot their tyres on that stuff. Once they hit the red stuff, you just see it go through the canvas, mate. And it's a real abrasive stuff. We do have some stuff similar on our roads, of course, that we all drive on. But I wouldn't imagine it would be as abrasive as that. I could be wrong, but I haven't done my research in regarding the grit factor. But yes, the easy way to fix it, mate. I know the real Formula One drivers, they don't like not to be punished for a mistake. They've all said it. They love it when it's, bring the walls in. And, let's make the mistake punishable, of course. And meaning that if you go off, there's a wall there. You can't go off too much. And there you go. This one here, you can sort of, it's a good way to open for a league race. But this track here, in real life, for me personally, Fury, is definitely not one of my favourites. I'm an old school F1 fan, and I like Manicure. And, here we go. Yes, it is starting to rain.
Yeah, the rain's falling down. I mean, I'm also an old school F1 fan. I don't mind Paul Ricard as a circuit. I think it has its place in the world. I don't think its place in the world is in Formula One.
Yes, I agree.
I would, as you said, I actually would much prefer. I did some racing on, I think it was 2010. I think they were over in
2012 as well.
Yeah, Magnet Core. The Magnet Core circuit is fun. You just kind of throw the car at the
mate.
corners and hope for the best. It's the best way to do it. And there's grass beside the track, so you don't have to worry about this coloured line. Ridiculous. So, you know.
Well, Kyotonic with, big brake pedals too, but you seem to miss them every time and clean up the field. So, well, I mean, it goes tick for tat, doesn't it, mate?
Oh, that was beautiful. I've had some good lines for you, mate. That was up there.
Yeah, it was, mate. It was.
Dino's on track at the moment. He's only driving not to have set a time. So this condition, obviously, before the patch, may have hindered people, but now with the tyre temps shooting up, may actually help people keep the tyres within the window. So whether we're going to see anybody improving at this point will be the better question, because we actually don't know.
No, we don't really know. I mean, look, I mean, usually the rule of thumb is the stuff falls from the sky. The track does not improve. I mean, it might not improve initially, as in like you still can do a competitive time, but from that point on, she goes downhill, and goes downhill pretty quickly. As Dino is starting to find out with a 1:33.8. He's going to need to crack on here, Fury. There's 5 minutes remaining in this session. And I think if you're not safe at this point in time at the moment, I don't think you're going to make it, mate. And that is just the luck of the draw when it comes to the inclement stuff falling from the sky. And, of course, France is known for... Hey! Bopton's around. Bopton is around. And, he's got enough time. The track is wet. He ain't going to improve. And we'll get off that glitchy sound. I do apologise, folks. Just still got to wrap my head around it, and was hoping it was going to fix itself some mysterious way, but quite hasn't. And there you go. That will be Q2 done and dusted here, Fury. I don't think anyone is going to improve at the moment, mate.
No, I definitely agree. And I'll bring it up. Are we allowed to bring up F1 news or F1 breaking news as it happens in a stream?
You can if you like, yeah.
Because Aston Martin, Aramco Cognizant Formula One team, or otherwise known as I have so many names Formula One teams,
yes,
have actually just come out with a press release. Sebastian Vettel has decided to retire at the end of the season.
Yeah, there was a bit of a presser on him earlier on, and him and Mr. Stroll Senior had a bit of a. Well, I don't think he's happy with him, mate. Promised him all the tools in the world, all the gifts in the world, and has not delivered on that promise. And of course, looking to jump out of the sport is Daddy Stroll, and that could be the reason why.
He gave him all the tools, but it wasn't to race an F1 car. It was to be a firefighter, to rubbish collector.
Well, you just paid him his contract.
A lot of other things outside of his driving. He probably should be getting paid a lot more given his roles.
Well, yeah. I mean,
what a career. And I've never been a big Seb fan, but of late, he's been one of the most joyous people on the grid, and it's been really fun to see him a part of it. And it's actually a little bit saddening he's not going to be there next season.
Yeah, I think so, mate. And once the elder statesmen start to dissipate from the scene of the grid, of course.
Sorry.
Please don't. But anyway, you know what I think? I could have done it ages ago. But anyway, what was I going to say? Yes, when the elder statesmen, I talk of Alonso, Vettel, the boys of that ilk. Of course, we've just seen Kimi Räikkönen retire. The guys that are real characters, the guys that are less sterile. I mean, you look at George Russell these days. You almost call him Bot Russell. He just tugs and toes the Mercedes line, doesn't he? Doesn't really say much doesn't really say much of anything. He just ticks all those boxes that he's got to tick and moves on. And that's the problem. I think you want to see what they really think. You want to hear what they think, and you want to know what they, you want them to say what they want to say. Of course, within the confines of the paddock. But
I was about to say, Yuki Tsunoda has been, he's great. But he's a little bit too colourful. He's the opposite end of the spectrum.
It's refreshing.
You need a midpoint.
Mate, it's refreshing. And guys that don't have English as their first speaking language, they learn English in the paddock. And you can imagine what English they learnt in the paddock. And, that's how... that's why you hear all these drivers that are not English first speaking language just swear the hell out of it. And, well, there you go. So it's understandable. It's totally understandable, of course. And, but yeah, I mean, the colour. I mean, once upon a time, the pit wall was more colourful than the guys on the grid. And, well, I mean, you know what I mean? It's just...
Even, like, look at the James Hunt, mate. You just show up with a different model on your arm every week, bourbon in hand, smoking the mouth, while you're just rocking up to your car 20 minutes before a race start, and you're like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm here, like, let's go. Like,
Yeah, that's right, mate. That's exactly
absolutely
right.
no cares in the world.
I
You
was
see someone do that now, they're fired. Like,
Mate, I
not
was reading
even
a
gonna be
story.
seen again.
I was reading a story the other day about James Hunt, and well, he, pardon the language here, folks, but he nailed a grid girl 30 minutes prior to a race while smoking a cigarette and had a glass of bourbon afterwards. Like, I mean, talk about a rock star. Holy moly. Anyway, those days are well and truly behind us, of course. I'd just like to see some form of colour back on the grid. I don't like the sterile environment. It's not good. It's just boring. Just
Like,
way
like George is very
around
he's
again.
testing the limits at the moment. He's inspiring the intermediates, but like you don't want a George Russell who's very like he is so Mercedes. It's not even. I don't even think he gets out of his race suit like when he leaves the track. Like he's just permanently in it. But like you also don't want like because Max Verstappen does not toe the Red Bull line.
No, but he says what he says, and it's good because.
And I think that's really good.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. You know, you get sick of the robotic toe the company line mumbo jumbo that's always the way it is, and you know, it's just give us something, you know. And well, that's what there you go. There's a bit of.
I mean, the good news is we know Fernando's not going anywhere because he's super young because he committed in that young driver test. And to do that, he's got to be a young driver.
He's
so
a rookie, mate.
Yeah,
what are you talking
at least
about?
10 years. At least 10 years. Like, surely. He'll be a world champion one day.
One day, of course, mate. But Millie Gaines at the moment, we're going to celebrate him on top of the timing charts again in Q2. I told mate, this guy's picked it up, and it's great to see. Good on you, Millie Gaines. And let's hope it continues. Tabbed P2, Tactical P3, Beansy P4, and of course, Mr. Sandeezy P5. This is, of course, we've got one more session to go. We're going to lose Numbnuts, Brad Tay, Bopton, Chasey, and Dino. And just time their runs a little bit late for that wet stuff falling from the sky. But yes. Q3 here, Fury. And this is it, mate. This is... Holy moly! Have a look at it. Have a look at it!
Oh, I'm just saying it's ready. I'm not looking at the black screen. Oh, what is... we've changed countries. We're not even in the same place as where we were before.
I'm telling you, mate, if this was real life, they wouldn't even bring the cars out on the grid.
Michael Massey's down there right now going, no, qualifying abandoned, not doing it. He's trying to get into them. Apparently we're going to get some wet tyre running, which is a tyre that F1 brings to Grand Prix. We're still working out why, but we bring it. Well, this could be, well, the running order of things doesn't mean absolutely anything at all because, well, the blue wall tyres do a lot of different things to the red wall tyres do.
Well, they just slightly there, Fury, as Sandeezy, well, I'll tell you what, might have done the right thing by himself, getting out on the grid on the Inter just to sort of suss out the feeling of the car. And, well, expect some good things from him. He's got more experience in these conditions on this grid at the moment than the rest of them running at the moment because, of course, he was out on track when the wet stuff started to fall. He had the Inters on. Now it's gone to a full wet. So, of course, these full wets throw about 90 litres of water up in the sky in real life, of course. And, well, with this new handling model, the way it's all been, it's going to be very interesting this session here, Fury. I'm hoping not, but I'm expecting to see a few people around.
Well, that would nearly be a given.
Going out on a limb,
mate. I'm not even just seeing puddles. I'm seeing pools of water just around the track. I'm waiting for the paddocks as it starts flooding.
It's slippery. It's very slippery. As Sandeezy was struggling to go through that chicane there, the car just wouldn't turn. He was struggling to get the power down, and he's sorted himself out now. But I tell you what, very, very treacherous conditions indeed at late apexes, long winding corners that just load up that side of the car. And I tell you what, any twitchiness when that's all loaded up, Fury, and holy moly, She's around.
Well, see, here's your fun thing. So, as we mentioned before, tire pressure is a huge thing in the game.
Yes.
They are even bigger in
the
the
wet.
because
Exactly.
you want more pressure on them because it expands the tire out more. So the blocks are a little bit bigger, so they clear more water, and that way you get more grip. The issue with that, they then overheat.
Yeah.
So you need to somehow find the happy balance. And for a lot of these guys, I can nearly guarantee you at least 75%, have done zero wet weather running since the update come out.
Well, I've maybe
Absolutely
zero wet weather
So-
running in since the game has come out, maybe, quite possibly. So, I mean, some of them don't like to practice in the wet. It's part of your it's part of your initiation, isn't it? When it comes to league racing, you got to do all conditions, of course. And these
Just
guys
need to have it in the golf bag, as they say. Need to have it as a club for selection.
Yeah, that's exactly
skill to
exactly right.
deploy. All of the different sayings we could throw, but DZ just absolutely turned the France Grand Prix circuit into Tokyo Drift, just absolutely getting the reserve livery car completely sideways.
He certainly was, mate.
Down out of there, which will hurt him all the way down the Mistral Straight. Not that top speed's really going to be a huge caveat with no DRS, and I don't think a lot of people are going to be wanting slamming the ERS either.
No, yeah, exactly right. So, well, I mean, who is that behind him? That's got to be Milligains, and he's on a lap as well. So they're going to come in thick and fast. There is a bit of a gap after the first few runners there, Fury. It gives us a little bit of a respite. But yeah, just wanting to see how these boys get along. So far, so good. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. And that must be 2-5, just getting out of the way of one of the Pumas. And, well, yeah, most certainly was. But Sandeezy has got a couple more corners to negotiate here, Fury. And he will be the benchmark, of course. The first one to put the time on the board, in this Q3 session. And, well, you can actually see the mirrors on the broadcast. That's bizarre. Never noticed that before. But there you go. The glass on the mirrors, I mean. And here comes Sandeezy. What's he got? It is a 47-1. Milligains just behind him. Trumps him with a 46-7. Very good. And Beansy. Well. Beansy a whole second quicker again. The young fella tabbed, of course. These three boys, Beansy, Milligains, tabbed 2-5. I'm expecting all these boys to be fighting for this championship. Tabbed with a 51-0. I dare say he's going to go again. Cool Boy has invalidated. We've got 2-5 out there. He will need to go again. He's very slow at the moment, but it will be JC who is next. And, well, what's he got? Very quick in the dry, in the wet. It's a 47.2.
Yeah, he's quicker than his teammate. Scotty slots himself up in a P3. 2-5. He's slotted himself towards the back of the grid. Tab's actually gone around, so not going to be doing another lap. Easy went around also. Tactical Genius, you missed him. He was kind of in the little bit of no man's land between the two gaps. He actually put himself within just over a tenth and a half away from Beans there, so put himself onto the second row. So he's looking very competitive. He's another one of those guys who is fairly quick in the dry and generally likes to pop up to the top end, but you put him in some wet, and it kind of feels like a skill gap equaliser for him and puts him a little bit closer and in more contention. But that is a big first strike from Beans, and I can nearly guarantee you, just looking at the way his ERS deployment is going, he's going and see if there's a little bit more grip he can find and reduce the time that he's already set down.
Well, you know yourself there, Fury, in wet weather conditions, mate. You put a little bit more fuel in the car and you just circulate. You probably do half a Q3 session, considering it's the most treacherous and the one we're in at the moment. And just probably do 3 or 4 laps. And obviously, the more laps you do, the more confidence you gain. The fuel burns off. You just get that continuity with yourself and the track. And, well, there you go. I've got to adjust that. Milligan sets the fastest lap with a 1 minute 45.489. P1 at the moment. Beats Beansy. So Milligan's went for a second dip. I'm concentrating on 2-5 here at the moment. He has got traffic in front of him. That is Crazy Kiwi, I do believe. Who is about to set... No, it's not. Excuse me. That must be Scotty. But yes, it is 2-5, who has not set a lap yet. Tactical goes quicker with a 145.166. But here comes 2-5. Yet to set a time, or a relevant time anyway. And let's just see what this ladder's got. A 45.5 P3.
Yeah, so maybe some guys maybe find a little bit more time around the track as they kind of sense out where the grip is. In wet conditions, you really have to drive the cars nearly completely differently to how you do in the dry. There's generally a little bit more grip in other places. You don't really want to use racing line because it definitely gets rubbered in a little bit. So especially after 2 qualifying sessions that we've had, so you want to avoid it at all costs because it'll actually kind of turn into a bit of a skating ring straight across it. You'll actually pick up more understeer than you did before. Kiwi, he's coming through his lap. Cool Boy's jumping back in the pit lane, but I was just looking at the Raymer. It's looking like a bit like we had on Monday night, where we had that kind of mixed condition qualifying, and it could be ready for Inter. So Kiwi's just done a 46.1 to make the Puma boys sitting 4, 5, and 6 with 3 out of their 4 cars at the moment.
Yep.
No one else on a lap or pushing around. Milligains, he's actually invalid. Beans is invalid, so he's boxing tactical. He might be setting his lap, but it's just looking like it might be about time that maybe someone like Cool Boy, Sandeezy, who's a little bit out of position, the young fella Tabbed as well, who ironically has just gone out on track, as I just mentioned, but he has gone on the wet. So
Yeah, I've noticed that.
maybe one of those guys towards the back, maybe takes a punt, be the pioneer and throw on the intermediates at this point,
Well,
get
I
a
mean,
couple of laps and...
The rain is
See
a
right
lot
at the
lighter
back.
than what it was at the start of the session, quite obviously. But yeah, look at them. A couple of boys in the garage have selected the Inters. That's your guy JC and Sandeezy. As you said, tabbed out there on track on an out lap, maybe an exploratory lap. I tell you what, maybe he's just gone a little bit early there, Fury. But his fuel light is on, so he hasn't got much fuel left in the tank.
It's the standard for the outlaps now is that the car is in a low fuel mode, so it
That's right.
doesn't burn as much petrol
That's right.
on your outlaps for some
That's right.
odd
That's
reason
right.
it now exists, but that's why it's
Yeah, that's right. Well, it used to be once upon a time the fuel light comes on, you haven't got much fuel left.
Yeah, now if you're on an outlap, it means you've got heaps of fuel,
Yeah,
but just not
that's
using
right.
it.
That's right. So, well, there you go. Let's just see how Tab fares, of course. He's well and truly out of position. He's a lot quicker than that. Maybe made a bit of a mistake on his first run. Just see if he's going in the pit lane. He's going to tell us. He's going to cut it close if he is going in the pit lane. But, yeah, we'll just see because we've got most of the grid out on track on the intermediates. But no. Tab is going to set this one. And, well, he's just going to chance his arm on a full wet here, Fury.
Yeah, well, that means that does mean that he's locked into that full wet tyre. He does not have the option to come back in. So starting his lap at 2 minutes 30, about a 1:45 lap time if he goes to the top of the session. That puts him with about 45 seconds left. So he has to do the best that he can on that wet tyre. Sandeezy, he's one that I mentioned before, could just take that risk. Maybe throw on the intermediate. You know, he's there at the moment, but the track might dry out. He's got enough time to do 2 consecutive runs on this intermediate tyre where a lot of the guys who are at the pointy end already, and we saw this on Monday night, are only going to get 1. The issue is you don't find the grip straight away. Somebody behind you, he'll find it later in the session as the track continues to improve. And as you can see, even on the screen, it's just getting better and better all the time with the rain reducing, puddles reducing as well.
Exactly right there, Fury. And look, I mean, I don't want to doubt the young fella, but I think he's gone out on track just a touch early there, mate. I think this might hurt him a little bit, mate. He has lit up the second sector, though, purple. He's no slouch. Doesn't matter what tyre he's got on. But if the boys behind him are setting quicker lap times on that intermediate, of course, more surface area actually touches the road or the track on the Inter than the full wet, of course. The full wet's made up of those little blocks. Whereas the Inter is more of a grooved slick. And, let's just see. Hey, Tab got the rears all lit up. But he's managed to keep it in a straight line there, Fury. Don't know how he did that. He's got one more corner to negotiate. Let's just see what time he can do. Who is behind him? That looks like it might be tactical on an outlap. Behind him is Sandeezy. So I might jump to Sandeezy after this one. But what has Tab got? It is a 45-0. He has dropped tactical off the top of the timing charts. But let's just see how they fare behind him, of course. Sandeezy, he's going to be our reference. And no, he's not. He's got it well wrong. Got it well wrong. And that cost him big time, mate. He went through the pit lane almost to get through that part of the track. And let's just see what he does. Yeah, the tyres are quicker, way quicker. Look at that. Tab's out on the wrong tyre, well out on the wrong tyre. Your guy, JC, out there on track as well. Where is Tactical? He's invalidated. So we're going to stay with JC. Where is Scotty? Scotty is in Sector 1, so JC it will be, and he's 3 seconds up at the second sector there. I nearly called you Housey. Fury, so apologise, mate. And
Well, Kiwi missed the line, mate. He's missed the line by narrow some margin. Coolboy only just left the pit lane, and Milligan's retired, so I'm not sure what happened to him. Tactical Genius with his invalidation, mate. There is nothing he can do at this point. Like, those 4 guys are done. They're going to drop like a sack of potatoes with everyone on these instances.
well, let's just see how JC goes, because he's about to take the checkered flag any second now here, Fury. He's well quicker than his previous. Look at that! He's on pole! He's on pole! He's on pole! And that says everything. The young fella, as you touched on, same with Tactical, all invalidated. 2-5 invalidated. Beansy out there on track as well. Where is Scotty? Scotty, there he is there, and it is between Scotty and Beansy. So we're going to stay with Scotty here, mate, because the rest of them have all invalidated. New follower, Oliver Allen. Thank you very much for your follow. Follow 307. I beg to differ. I think you're 309, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Formula 4 Racing, the Aussie division. 3 days late, of course, yes, with that patch update, but we're here, round 1, nevertheless, here at Francais, and as I lost my mind there for a second, Fury, watching Scotty in that beautiful Puma livery, and let's just see, I think you're right, mate, I think those top-end guys are going to struggle, and let's just see what Sandeezy's has taken full advantage. Scotty goes P2 with a 41-0, what has Beans got? What has Beansy got? P2 with a 40 point. Holy moly, very close between them two. And that is Q3 done and dusted, folks.
You know, Tactical will be killing himself. He had a 41-6 in the bag that he did when he crossed the line with that invalidation, and that would have put him P4. Tabbed obviously went out wrong tyre, unfortunately for him. Any chances of moving forward. 2-5 didn't. He invalidated, so his session done as well. Your guy JC just didn't quite get enough for the second run, had enough for that first run at least on the instant to put him fourth. But Coolboy didn't get out with enough time to go. Kiwi missed the timing as well. And Milligan's, I do believe he may have crashed out on track. So, you know, those guys behind the 8 ball a little bit from qualifying. And as we've seen in previous seasons, the different tracks, it doesn't matter what track you go to, mixed conditions always make it interesting. And well, as they say, the cream rises to the top.
That's what they say, mate. And well, Sandeezy taking full advantage of the tyre scenario. And there you go, P1, Beansy P2, Scotty P3. Your guy JC briefly had himself on pole, and well, he was looking very good. Tabbed P5, Tactical Genius P6, Milligains P7. Sharing that row with 2-5, and well, there you go, Crazy Kiwi Coolboy round out our top 10. Here we go, Fury. Of course, for the viewers, the game has not yet fixed the formation lap regarding it being immersive, meaning if you get reset to your grid box, your starting box, it will bugger the lobby. So we are on broadcast for this one. Yes, it is a bit different. It takes a little bit to get used to. But hopefully they fix that relatively soon and we get ourselves back underway. But for now, we are running the way it is. Yeah, it worked for you guys because none of your boys missed the grid box. If they missed the grid box, it would not have worked. And I've seen it like heaps of times everywhere else, and there's no way I'm taking that chance. No chance in hell.
Yeah, we've already had enough issues with the fact that we live in the possible update and server maintenance room where we have to we normally race. So we'll take less chances.
I'll take less risk at the moment. Yeah, considering updates are released when we go live. But yeah, it is what it is. Unfortunately, I dare say it will be fixed as soon as I know it's bug free. We will revert back to that way of running our formation lap. But until I know for certain, well, we'll stay on broadcast because it's the last thing we want, Fury. And with the game being as finicky as it is, that is the last thing we want.
It's a temperamental one.
It is a temperamental one.
There's a comment that I would normally make at this kind of thing, but we'll refrain from making it because it's not appropriate. But very interesting grid. Crofty's talking like he's going to commentate the race, which he isn't. Crofty's been sacked. He doesn't know yet. We've sacked him. And, oh, there we go. That was a very fast lap. I think that's probably going down
Mate,
fast.
it's one of the
surely.
fastest formation laps on the planet at a minute 30 lap time. And we'll just see how these boys get on, of course, as they all form up. This is the point where we got to on Monday, Fury. But yeah, that's when it all turned bad. But so far, so good, my friend. As Drofter says, take the chance, stop being scared. Stop being scared, mate. I just saved myself a few years off my life with a heart attack, my friend. So, because I get quite worked up when the lobby turns to shit, as Fury will probably work out a little bit later on in the season. But anyway, we'll move on because we're about to get this one underway here, Fury, as we wait for this final load in, mate.
Yes, this is obviously the site that we saw before the game decided to, remove itself. There was only an interesting part. There was only one driver who went to medium, so everyone else has gone to start. As we're just waiting for all the connections to take place. Surely it'll let us load in a second. Bit hard to tell what cars we've got everywhere, but we've got a Marlboro JTS, a Castrol, and a Samsung Castrol. Marlboro.
Fury. Hang on.
Yes.
Hang on. I'm just reading. It's you. You got to leave and rejoin, mate.
It's me.
That's what they're saying.
Oh, okay. Okay. No. I'd like to go and close the game completely because then wouldn't let me just do it.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Mr. Admin, give me some information, please. You're in the lobby. Broken Reptile has left. He was the one that joined through Quali. Yes, this is bullshit, this game. This game is shit. Don't need it, Droft. Don't need it, mate. Anyway, we're going to go on a pause. I'm probably going to end the stream. We're going to customize this grid. We'll be back, folks. Rubbish game. Bye-bye.